I've been out in the desert, I have wandered on through the sand. I've been burned, I've been thirsty, I've walked with the devil through dangerous lands. I have seen with my eyes images I wish I could erase. I have danced with Lady Temptation, I've felt a fire, seen her face. Well, I can't make it, I won't last another day. 'Cause each day is torture, baby, each day is torture when you're away. I can't do without you, my lover, my partner, my friend. And now that you're gone, each moment's so long, I can't wait till you come back again. Oh, I've been missing my woman 40 days and 40 nights. I've been missing my woman 40 days and 40 nights. I have been missing my woman 40 days and 40 nights. I've been missing my woman 40 days and 40 nights. Earlier today, heard somebody say that he didn't believe that true love exists anyway. And earlier today, I heard that same man say that any man is a liar who says he desires to be with one woman the rest of his days. Well, I don't know how the future is going to unfold. And I don't know just how we're gonna feel when we get old. But there's one thing, baby, honey, one thing I'm certain is true. I have tried it out, I can't do without no one, don't live without you. I've been missing my wife 40 days and 40 nights. I've been missing my woman 40 days and 40 nights. I've been missing my woman 40 days and 40 nights. I've been missing my woman 40 days and 40 nights. I've been lost out at sea, rocked the boat, felt the sting of the rain. I've been surrounded by couples, I felt loneliness I could never explain. I have felt in my heart the flood of despair overtake, not knowing for sure if I could endure, overwhelmed by the value of what was at stake. Well, I can't make it, I won't last another day. 'Cause each day is torture, baby, each day is torture when you're away. I can't do without you, my lover, my partner, my friend. And now that you're gone, each moment's so long, I can't wait till you come back. 40 days and 40 nights. I've been missing my woman 40 days and 40
Koe, Nindaluisi Holly Matheson. I'm the music director of Symphony Nova Scotia, and it's my enormous pleasure to welcome you today to this fusion session with one of our long-term collaborators, Ben Kaplan. It's the first time I've worked with him in person. He did do some work with us during lockdown, but it's been great to have him in the space with us with the full orchestra, blending our music together. He's a really collaborative, intelligent, instinctive musician and incredibly inspiring for all of us to work with him. So I really hope you enjoy it. We're about to have a little bit more music, and then after that you'll hear Ben and I having a good chat about all things music and breathing and collaboration and culture, which I hope you enjoy. But before we get there, I would like to acknowledge that we are here in Mi'kma'ki, the ancestral and unceded territory of the Mi'kmaq people, and we are incredibly lucky to be here making music together. Thank you and enjoy.
Well, let's see, what do we got next here? We got a real treat for you. We're gonna start to dip into some of the old stock material. And that show, Old Stock, a refugee love story that this music comes from, it tells the story of two Jewish Romanian refugees who flee to Canada in 1908. And we wrote the story starting in 2015, myself, Christian Berry, and Hannah Moskovich, and we were reflecting back then on the Syrian refugee crisis and using the story of Hannah's great-great-grandparents, which is a similar story to my great-great-grandparents, and so for many other families, that has this deep resonance with what's happening today, or what was happening in 2015 in Syria, and what continues to be happening today in countries all over the world. And it's so easy to talk about hordes of people or waves of migration. And these are inherently dangerous ways to talk about these kinds of things, because human beings don't exist in waves. Human beings are individuals with their own traumas and histories and hopes and dreams and stories. And as things continue to be difficult in this world, I think it's important to remember the humanity of the people that we're talking about. So. This song and the next three songs after this one were co-written by myself and Christian Berry, who's somewhere out there in the audience. So 3 cheers for Christian Berry. He called me up and said, "You want to make some theater?" And I said, "I don't know if I know how to do that." And he said, "That's what I'm here for." And this song started because Christian said to me, there should be a lullaby in the show, because there's going to be a little baby at some point that we assume as the plot unfolds. We haven't figured that out yet, but there'll probably be a baby. So maybe we can write a lullaby. And this just sort of fell out in an afternoon. So this is Lullaby, as arranged by Rebecca Pellet. The market is empty. The butcher's gone home. The candles have spent. Soon the light will be gone. Soften your brow, dear. Breathe slow and deep. Let your eyes close as you drift off to sleep. The moon in a window, the sun in the sea. Now is the quiet, just baby and me. And the sun will sleep in the And the ocean once dreamed it could shine high above, but protecting, reflecting the sun is enough. We used to go dancing,
Used to drink wine.
we used to buy flowers, and now we buy time. Mommy and Daddy would work their hour hands to make sure you have all you need in this land. The moon in a window, the sun in the sea. Now is the quiet, just baby and me. And the sun will sleep in the ocean tonight, and the cool of the water makes everything right. And the ocean once dreamed it could shine high above. But protecting, reflecting the sun is enough. And the sun will sleep in the ocean tonight, and the cool of the water makes everything right. And the ocean once dreamed it could shine high above. But protecting, reflecting the sun is enough. Protecting, reflecting the sun is enough. Once again, Mr. Graham Scott on the piano, Ms. Tara Spencer singing the backup vocals, Mr. Jamie Cronick on the drums. I get to start this one, which means I'm terrified. It's okay, I do this regularly. I mean, not with an orchestra, that's the terrifying part, but... Once there was a mama bird who flew across the sea, carrying her children young aloft upon the breeze. The time had come to migrate as a chill fell on the land. The fledglings were too weak to fly, too young to understand. Mama took them on her back, the three into the sky, and set up on a journey with a prayer and a sigh. Mama, where do we fly? Where are we welcome, and where will we thrive? Mama, where do we fly? Where are we going, and will we survive? journey was exhausting, but at last a shore was found. The fledglings left of Mama as she crashed into the ground. It took some time to learn how to adapt to the new climb, but food was found and shelter, and it felt stable in time. The family was grateful to survive another day, but they missed the life they had and all their friends so far away. Mama, where do we fly? Where are we welcome, and where will we thrive? Mama, where do we fly? Where are we going, and will we survive? As years passed, other families from all the far-off lands began to cross the ocean and to wash up on the sand. The fledglings and their neighbors felt themselves to be as one, and scarcely could identify with new birds on the run. They feared that all the new birds would bring violence and disease, despite an old familiar song aloft upon the breeze. Where are we welcome, and where will we thrive? Mama, where do we fly? Where are we going, and will we survive?
This next song was the last song that was written for Old Stock, and it's sort of a love song, but in such a story, it felt difficult to write a love song that had nice, tidy, resolved love feelings. So I wrote a song called What Love Can Heartbreak Allow?
A tangle of traumas, a rash of regrets, a bundle of burdensome yesterdays, a blessing of sorrows, a crush of tomorrows, a nightmare disturbed by the dawn. A quorum of tragedy, rotten menagerie. Why do you stay with me now? A tide of naivety dragging the feet of me. What love can heartbreak allow? When I was a child, I dreamed of all of the things I'd be. Now it's all gone wild, and there's a crack in my history. Where should I return now that all my beginnings have burned? What of all my dreams? What love cannot breathe allow? Now the winter is over and the storm has passed, the rain's receded. Flowers fall upon the earth, the time to rise here. I opened up to my beloved, but my love had turned away. I called him, but he gave no answer. What love can heartbreak allow?
Now the winter's over and the storm has passed. The rain's receding, flowers grow upon the
Tara Spencer and Stuart Legier. Well, orchestrating pop songs for an orchestra is, is hard and expensive work. So we got one more for you, and it's been an undescribable treat and a pleasure. And I want to say a big thank you before we go on any further to Holly Matheson for conducting this beautiful affair. And to Symphony Nova Scotia, to Eric at Symphony Nova Scotia, the whole organization for inviting me to be a part of this thing. It really it feels like such an incredible honor, such a huge privilege, and I'm so grateful to all of you for coming out. This is Plow the Shit. This one doesn't have an intro. I forgot that this one doesn't have an intro. This one just has one note, and then you gotta be ready to sing. But I was drinking water, so I wasn't ready to sing. Now that we're just holding that lovely bass note, I'll just have a quick sip. And Graham, Holly, if you guys don't mind just re-articulating that first note again. The world is an overflowing gutter. It bubbles with a brine of shit and blood. And those who keep their eyes upon the heavens are the ones who will wind up face down in the mud. It's easy to speak of grand ambition. It's easy to pretend you're innocent, but lest you get distracted by the suffering of your sister being practical and trying to pay the rent. Heaven has been promised to the righteous. Hell's an overpopulated pit. Purgatory's given to the dreamers, but the world belongs to those who plow the shit. There's a special place in hell for fancy talkers. There's a special place in heaven for the whores. There's a throne reserved for those with good ideas, stolen by the demagogues who wanted more. The flowers and the laces in the market are all purchased by the peddlers of the flesh. But those who bring relief and carnal pleasure sometimes serve the needs of mankind for the best. Cast off the limitations of the righteous. There are good deeds only devils can commit. Let us dance between the teardrops of the angels, for the world belongs to those who plow the shit. At last, the Supreme Maker decreed that this creature, to whom he could give nothing wholly his own, should have a share in the particular endowment of any other creature. Taking man, therefore, this creature of indeterminate image, he set him in the middle of the world and thus spoke to him. We have given you, O Adam, no visage proper to yourself, nor endowment properly your own, in order that whatever place, whatever gifts, whatever form you may with premeditation select, these same may you have and possess through your own judgment and decision. We have made you a creature neither of heaven nor of earth, neither mortal nor immortal, in order that you may, as the free and proud shaper of your own being, fashion yourself in the form you may prefer. The dead become the emperors of memory,
The saints have all been eaten by the worms. Living out with the right to twist the future, and the sinners all have practical concerns. They're sentinels with rifles on the border. All the pretenses of charity are swerved. But let's not talk of slipping into nightmare, for the day is won by those who haven't slept. So throw away the vestments of the righteous. Make sure the body armor snugly fits. The souls have taken flight now from the birdhouse, and the world belongs to those who plow the shit.
Thank you so much for being here. Thank you to Symphony Nova Scotia. Thanks to all of you. Good night.
Holly Matheson conducting, ladies and gentlemen. The music director of Symphony, Holly Matheson. Come on. Please come on up for a bow, Symphony Nova Scotia. What a great group of human beings and artists. Thanks for letting me do my weird tunes with you.
Hello, Holly.
Hi, Ben.
It's a pleasure to sit down and chat with you.
I know, it's nice to sit down because we've been standing a lot in rehearsal and concert.
Getting all the things ready.
When you come in and work with the orchestra, obviously when any two genres collide in concert or in rehearsal or whatever, there are points of contact and there are points of near miss and there are points of complete anathema in terms of where the groove sits.
Sure.
In general, do you have a feeling when you come into a process like this of these are going to be the challenges or this is going to be easy to achieve?
Definitely. Yeah, I think one of the tunes from the program, for example, 40 Days and 40 Nights, that song it's a funky tune and it has this sort of, I'm used to feeling the tune in the pocket and I'm used to having a drummer who's got this backbeat sort of pocket 6/8 groove thing and then I get to back phrase and just like trust that that's there and feel the funk of it. And coming to an orchestra, I don't associate going to see classical music with feeling the funk.
I'm hurt.
So yeah, I think there's like moments there where there's just challenges in terms of how people are accustomed to thinking about time.
Yeah.
I think so much of classical music, time is gestural, time is expressive, and in a song like 40 Days and 40 Nights, time wants to be like, just like right, just behind and in this very specific way. So certain things like that are super challenging. But I think that those things exist in classical music as well. And I think what's so wonderful about the canon of classical music is that for every challenge, there is a composer who's like explored that problem and made challenging music. So
Often actually, I think especially when we're doing things that have a slightly more swung or jazz feel that, like you say, just sits back slightly on the kit beat. I think actually probably our greatest resource is to think Baroque period kind of stuff, where it does just sit down a little bit more on the lower end of the orchestra, the cellos, for instance, and the continuo that would normally be playing. And everyone rides on the back of the trailer with them, and they push it forward. But also things like a little bit of swing. There's a really subtle way of finding it, whereas I think often with a more modern orchestra, there's a scholarly way of thinking about it, it should...
The dotted triplets
and actually there's something that squidges halfway between the two that feels a bit more authentic.
Sure.
But actually these guys, I think, they've got a lot of experience doing this stuff, and the moment you pinpoint those moments and say, no, we're not quite swinging that right, this is how it should feel. But also listening to you, to the kit, to the keys, to Graham. He's so expressive, and like you can see his ears out all the time and his eyes on stalks, just connecting with the orchestra.
Yeah.
And that makes a huge difference.
Totally. I've been working with Jamie on the drums and Graham on the piano for many years now, and it was such a treat to be able to bring them into this concert and have them on stage. I feel like they're bringing a lot.
It's really nice for me to work with a kit player, and again, Jamie's awesome because he just watches and listens so much, and it's always this thing of right, which of us is the driver at this point? And for me, it's always the kit.
Right.
Like you just go with the kit and let them set the groove. But again, there's a funny thing in terms of where we feel a pulse in our bodies. For us, it can be a very dislocated from the elbow forward kind of thing, which, I mean, when you watch Jamie when he's playing, he's so physical and he feels it.
He's got it in his booty. That's
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So, I mean, what are the challenges from your perspective of you seem to have, risen through the ranks of classical music? I mean, did you start off as an instrumentalist before becoming a conductor?
I was a pianist, but
Seems
actually
like a common starting point.
Yeah, and it's a handy one. That's why I'm a harmony geek.
Right.
Most pianists are. But also I was a dancer. I trained as a dancer.
Wow.
So the physical side of it and feeling the groove, I think I enjoy very, very much.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I love about 7/8. There's a few moments in the show where we go to the 7/8 time signature, and 7/8 is in my mind, it's a dance rhythm.
Yeah.
And I find when people are thinking about it mathematically, it's like, okay, 1 less than 8, or 1 more than 6, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It loses something, but if you know that it's it's a long 3, not a 7.
Exactly,
It makes way more sense, and it's been lovely hearing
and you're
you
right,
interpret that.
it has to be connected to your body, and I think that's why people find it really tricky to play, especially often when you're working with students and young orchestras. They always stretch it out to an 8 or they reduce it to a 6, and for everyone who's listening to this, it's just as simple as it's really hard to knot and train to your left and your right foot. We're bipedal, and it feels weird to have a third leg or a sort of an extra long step every third step or whatever.
Well, that's exactly how I think about it, as being a 3-step time signature.
Yeah.
It goes short, short, long, short, short, long, or short, long, short, short, long, short. There's this great Bulgarian clarinetist who I love listening to called Ivo Popasov, and he's got these beautiful compositions in 7, and he changes where that long step is in the pattern all over the thing. I'm geeking out now, but it's a great time signature.
Yeah, it's a good one.
And I was going to ask you, so you started as a pianist, you became a dancer, now you're here conducting in Nova Scotia, and so welcome. This is a relatively new gig for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, geez. How is it feeling being a part of this ensemble and working with classical music in Halifax?
Oh, it's cool. Like, they're just a really engaged and friendly and up for anything orchestra who just roll their sleeves up and get mucked in, and everyone looks up to you. I don't mean that in a respectful sense. I mean physically, they watch and they look up. When there's something not working, they look up and go, cool, what are we going to do about it? I think it's a really exciting time at the moment to be encouraging players to be more comfortable with that, and I think we're coming up with some cool ways to try that here, which I'm really pleased about. But it can be really anxiety-inducing for players because it's like going against the grain a little bit, but then that's why it's so inspiring to have someone like you come in, and the way that you're able to say, do you know what, let's put a big, slinky E minor chord in there. Can you do that for me? And A, they trust you, and B, they trust themselves to know, yeah, we can actually. It's not going to freak us out.
Yeah.
And so they respond really positively. But it's like an artist like you coming in role models that in a way as well. So it's like a little teaching thing of, it's okay to try it, and it might sound absolutely pants, but it's okay. It won't break.
Yeah. I think the most interesting thing about this time getting to collaborate with Symphony Nova Scotia, this being my 4th time getting to do this gig, is I feel like every previous time I've walked in, it's been me, little old me, who has no formal music training, and then the institution. And so I walk in and I'm like, it's not an imposter syndrome. I'm certain that I'm an imposter. There's no question. I just know that I don't belong here. And this time around, I think I understand in a different way that this institution and all of these things are composed of people who are showing up to do their job, and we're all just trying to create something beautiful together. And so knowing this time and feeling from the group, I really feel immensely grateful that I have that feeling from them of like, you're not an imposter, you belong here. It allows me to relax and then to look around and see, oh, we're all just individuals who are working together to form a collective that's going to achieve this thing. And I feel like we're very fortunate in this room to have a bunch of grounded people who are eager to show up and make something beautiful.
And it feels like they know you as well. They know your style, and they know what to listen for. And we've talked a bit about the way you sometimes sit back on a phrase and slink along after us a little bit, and then you play with time really expressively. And I feel like they know you well enough now that it doesn't throw them. They understand what you're doing and where they should sit.
Yeah, it's been an interesting thing over my career of like figuring out how to make sure that the band doesn't follow me in a moment where, because I need them to follow me sometimes, but no, over here I'm just doing some phrasing, guys. I just need everybody to play. So yeah, it's been interesting finding.
I was going to ask you actually, you were saying this is your 4th time coming in, and in my tenure in this job, I was around for number 3, albeit on another continent, thanks to COVID. And that session, you sort of led yourself. You had, how many players was it?
Oh, I wasn't even counting that one. That one's a whole other kettle of fish.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did this Bolero concert that now lives on YouTube that people can go check out, and I hope that they will.
How many players did you have in that one? I can't remember.
We had 16, I think, on stage.
And you sort of
Conducted. I
Yeah,
didn't conduct because but yeah, it was
You
we
was
didn't have a
leading
conductor
it.
on that session. Yeah, and so the only way that I was able to pull that off was by preparing harder and more intensely than I've ever prepared for any gig in my life. I studied that music until I knew it like the back of my hand, and when I heard something that was a little bit late or a little bit whatever, I trusted myself to know.
Yeah.
Because as a person who doesn't know how to read music, everybody else has a score, and I'm there trying to like, I'm supposed to be able to read the score if I'm going to be talking about things. I should have bar measures and things like that. I did get the scores in advance and started like figuring out, okay, I know how to count and I know what a bar looks like and I know what the time signature is, so I should be able to like rough my way through and was able to sort of like see the shape of gestures on the score. But it was certainly intimidating. But
it worked.
It was just a matter of, and everybody had the paper and everybody knew
Yeah.
the material, they showed up.
It's interesting as well. It makes me think about my conducting students and also working with, say, a solo violinist or a solo singer, especially. If someone is an expressive and innately musical breather, you can follow them. You can accompany them. You can totally see what they wanted, whether they realize what they're doing is in tempo or not.
Right.
And one thing I'm really struck by working with you is how many facets your craft has. There's obviously the way you manipulate the vocal mechanism is so clever and expressive, but also your physical theatre is really quite amazing for someone who I think of as a singer. Like, you're kind of a dancer and a mimer and all this other stuff. And I wonder, actually, in a situation for an orchestra who's used to watching a stick, actually, they were probably just looking at your shoulder blades and going,
There it is.
and yeah, and it is imbued in your whole body in some way, probably without you realizing it. That's been the one sad thing for me in this setup, is that I can't see you. But often I can just hear you breathing, and it's quite interesting. You give far more highly intelligent musical information than you think you're doing, I think, just through your breathing and the way you phrase things off. You sort of set up what the journey is going to be into the next phrase.
Yeah, I think that's it's not entirely absent from my consciousness. I think that because of my tendency to want to do weird phrasing or back phrasing or try to find the like seat of my pants just getting the phrase in an unexpected way, it then can potentially create a lot of confusion. So I think I've learned in terms of like working with my band to give them the
Yeah.
because just that the sharp inhale on the 4 sets up the 1 in just the way, or the and of the whatever it is. I'm not just a singer, I'm not just a songwriter, I'm also a band leader.
Yeah.
And a band leader is just a conductor without a stick.
Yeah.
So, I've had to figure out how to facilitate those things with a band behind me and an audience in front.
because it is the same job, actually, just as you say, just without the stick. You're just using something else, but it's the exact same technique and it's the same intelligence behind it.
Yeah, once you get more than 2 or 3 people, you've got to make sure that we're all feeling
Yeah.
time in the same way.
Yeah.
It's such a fascinating, I mean, it's like your job strikes me as you are the person who holds time for the collective, because time is this sensed thing, but we can't actually feel time. We're not good at feeling time. Like we can, as musicians, we can train ourselves to feel what a metronome feels like, but then there's different ways of like, and are you gonna be right on the quarter note, or are you gonna be a little bit ahead or a little bit behind? And so you've got this responsibility of like being the experience of time for the room. It's beautiful to watch.
Especially when you're dealing with music that involves rhetoric, and obviously anything with text is going to, with a voice and text, it's going to have meaning even in the silences. So we have a few in this actually, like that bit where there's like that little pregnant pause before the trombone comes back in with that.
Which, yeah, my instinct was to get rid of that moment.
No, I love it.
Yeah, I chatted with Graham about it, saying like, what do I do? There's 3 solutions in my mind. And
Yeah.
he was like, how about solution number 4 of leaving it alone?
Yeah.
And I'm so glad that we have done that, because the silence.
Because when you're listening to it, it does make you go, huh? Ah.
Yeah, totally.
Which is cool, you know.
Yeah.
That's what I think we're always trying to do, is get people's brains to do something that they wouldn't have been doing if they were just sitting watching TV.
Yeah,
we are
this-
manipulating you.
In mathematics, the invention of the zero was a radical and important moment in human history.
Yeah.
And like, I feel like it's tempting to think of an orchestra playing from 1 to 100 in terms of dynamics, but like that's 0.
Yeah. It's like the opposite of Spinal Tap. Like
Exactly. Yeah, instead of going to 11.
you're going to -1.
yeah,
you go
turn
to
the
0.
orchestra to 0.
And actually, probably as an audience member, someone might not realize how much we talk in really in-depth ways about silence in small and large-scale things in orchestral rehearsals. Of even things like, you know, we've talked about the articulation of some notes. Is this a ba, or is it a da, or is it really smooth and legato? You know, these different things. And it's not just about the onset of the sound and what the sound itself is. It then affects how much daylight there is after it before you hear the next sound, and that's just as important.
It's a big part of where I am right now, actually, in my journey as a singer, is like paying attention to offsets. You know, like onsets is like where all the money seems to be at. You know, it's like, where are you going to choose to start the note? But realizing that choosing where you're going to end the note is equally important.
Yeah.
And I think I've been guilty of like, well, I'll just continue the phrase as long as I possibly can, squeeze a breath in, and then keep singing. But being more intentional about where the note ends and where those little silences are has been a really interesting part of.
It's interesting how that translates. So you talk about when you run out of breath, then there has to be a space. And there are obvious ways that connects for wind and brass. But a lot of the work we do is about sustaining the sound right to the end, so it's actually a positive energy right until the release of it as well. So it's not just a
decrescendo,
yeah, it's not just a fade out,
which
or
is a hard thing. I'm also trying
Yeah.
to think about how to do that, of like keeping the integrity of the sound right up until the final moment. So
Yeah.
I do exercises with S sounds. And
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can hear on an S when you're like kind of losing steam.
Yeah,
so you want
yeah.
to get that like nice crisp S sound right until your lungs are totally empty, and it's
It really helps. I remember my singing teacher used to have this analogy of a beach ball that's sitting on the water, and you're squeezing the beach ball, but don't let, if anything, it inflates more as the air comes. Do you know what I mean? So you get
Totally,
that
yeah.
resistance to it. But it's the same for the strings as well. I mean, they are breathing anyway, always musically with the rest of the ensemble, but the way they control the sound to the end of the bow, especially when it's, so an up bow is the one that goes that way, and a down bow is the one that goes that way. And because of the weight of, well, just your musculature, but also the shape of the bow that tapers a little bit at the end, the natural laws of physics mean that it gets slightly quieter towards the tip of the bow.
Right.
And so there's a real technique in being able to sustain the sound right to the end of it in the same way that you talk about with your breath as a singer.
Even intonation, it blew my mind to understand that playing fast can actually be a heck of a lot easier than playing slow. Because when you're playing these long, slow phrases, any little change in the pressure of your bow or your finger is going to change that sound, and you can hear it because it's so exposed.
Yeah.
And so, gosh, learning that, working with fiddlers, working with violinists, working with people in soloist situations, and then coming here and hearing the consistency of the sound of 16 players playing all together.
Yeah.
It's incredible. It's a beautiful thing.
There are certain types of non-classical music that lend themselves to working with an orchestra, and I think that's what's blown me away about this. This is kind of Wagnerian opera at times. You know, it just works so well, and every time you come in, well, even before we met in person, you're already emailing me these completely random ideas about things we could be doing, and every one of them is an absolute banger. It's like, yep, that would be amazing. Yes, that would be incredible.
Well,
and it's a real sense of that grand scale.
I really have been fantasizing about doing that Chico Buarque Construção composition. It's one of my favorite pieces of recorded music, and it wasn't the right time to try to bite that one off, but I'm hoping that one day I can come back and we can try to munch on that.
We'll put it on the list. Yeah.
Well,
Wicked.
Holly,
Thank you so much for coming in. We've had the loveliest couple of days working with you.
Real pleasure.
Thank you everyone so much for tuning in. We literally could not make music without you, and it's great to have you here. I also want to thank the Government of Canada and the Province of Nova Scotia for their really generous support in making sure that we can keep making these fusion sessions for you. Thank you.
When we get over there, one day, baby, honey, one thing I'm certain is true. I have tried it out, I can't do without no one, no, live without you. Oh, I've been missing my life, 40 days and 40 nights. I've been missing my 40 days and 40 nights. I've been missing my woman. 40 days and 40 nights. I've been missing my woman. 40 days and 40 nights.